The Atlantic crashes against Liberia's shores, palm trees sway, the sun, a blazing orb, paints the sky in hues of gold and crimson. This is a land of breathtaking beauty, yet behind this idyllic facade, a harsh reality festers. Liberia, a nation birthed from the shackles of slavery, bears the scars of a troubled present. Its people, burdened by poverty and despair, grapple with the weight of broken promises. The air, thick with the scent of salt and the promise of a new dawn, carries a bitter undercurrent. It whispers tales of betrayal, a betrayal so profound that it threatens to consume the very soul of this fragile nation. Hope. It flickered brightly in the eyes of the Liberian people. They had placed their faith in their elected leaders, entrusted them with the sacred duty of rebuilding their shattered nation. But power, a seductive mistress, whispered a different tune in the corridors of government. It spoke of personal gain, of amassing wealth at the expense of the very people they had sworn to serve. Promises made on grand stages beneath the watchful gaze of international observers turned to dust in their mouths. The faces that beamed from campaign posters morphed into masks of greed and indifference. The people watched, their hopes crumbling, as their leaders lined their pockets while the nation languished. Foreign hands eager to exploit Liberia's resources found willing partners in the halls of power. These agents of greed, with their promises of aid and development, arrived bearing gifts. But these were no ordinary gifts. They were the modern-day equivalent of 30 pieces of silver, a Faustian bargain that would cost Liberia dearly. Contracts were signed, deals struck behind closed doors. The nation's future bartered away for personal enrichment. The whispers of development masked the deafening roar of exploitation. The serpents had entered the garden, their venom seeping into the very fabric of Liberian society. The consequences of this betrayal were swift and devastating. Poverty, a relentless plague, tightened its grip on the nation. Hospitals, starved of resources, became places of despair rather than healing. Disease, a silent predator, stalked the streets. The social fabric, already strained by years of conflict, began to unravel. The cries of the people, their pleas for justice and a fair share of their nation's wealth, fell on deaf ears. The seeds of unrest, sown in the fertile ground of despair, began to sprout. Section 5. Damage the nation. A chorus of greed. Damage the nation. The mantra echoed in the halls of government, a chilling testament to the depths of their betrayal. It was a creed, a perverse philosophy that guided their every action. They plundered the nation's coffers, siphoned off funds meant for schools and hospitals, and left a trail of devastation in their wake. Damage the nation. They chanted it at their lavish parties, their laughter echoing the emptiness of their souls. They whispered it in hushed tones during their clandestine meetings with foreign collaborators. They lived it, breathed it, and in doing so, condemned their nation to a future of suffering. Section 6. Echoes of betrayal, history's unheeded warnings. Liberia's tragedy is not unique. Throughout history, the siren song of power has lured many from the path of righteousness. From Judas Iscariot, who betrayed Christ for 30 pieces of silver, to Brutus, who plunged his dagger into the heart of Caesar, the annals of history are replete with tales of treachery and its devastating consequences. These stories, etched in the collective memory of humankind, serve as cautionary tales. They remind us that power, unchecked, corrupts. They warn us that those entrusted with the fate of nations must be held accountable for their actions. Section 7. The East offers a hand a glimmer of hope. Amidst the despair, a glimmer of hope emerges from an unexpected source. The East, with its own history of colonialism and exploitation, extends a hand of friendship to Liberia. China, in particular, recognizing the strategic importance of this resource-rich nation, offers aid, investment, and a path to development. This newfound partnership, while viewed with suspicion by some, offers a lifeline to a drowning nation. It represents a break from the traditional Western powers that have long held sway over Liberia's destiny. But will this alliance prove to be a genuine partnership or simply another form of exploitation? Section 8. The price of silence, complicity and fear. The betrayal of Liberia is not solely the fault of corrupt officials. It is perpetuated by the silence of those who witness it firsthand. Fear, a powerful silencer, keeps many from speaking out. The threat of retribution, of losing their jobs or even their lives, hangs heavy in the air. The culture of impunity, where those in power operate above the law, further emboldens the corrupt. Whistleblowers are ostracized, their voices silenced before they can reach the ears of the world. This complicit silence allows the rot to spread, eating away at the very core of Liberian society. Section 9. A generation lost, the erosion of dreams. The true cost of Liberia's betrayal is measured in lost potential, in the shattered dreams of a generation. Young people, robbed of their education and opportunities, are left with few options but to flee their homeland or succumb to the allure of crime and despair. The cycle of poverty and violence continues, fueled by the corruption that has become endemic in Liberian society. Each generation inherits the legacy of betrayal, their hopes for a brighter future dimmed by the actions of those who came before them. Section 10. Beyond betrayal, a call for redemption. Liberia stands at a crossroads. The path ahead is fraught with challenges, but amidst the darkness, a flicker of hope remains. The people of Liberia, though weary from years of disappointment, possess an indomitable spirit. They yearn for a nation where their voices are heard, where their leaders are accountable, and where the promise of a brighter future is within reach. Achieving this vision will require a collective effort. A commitment from both the people and those in power to break free from the shackles of corruption and embrace a new era of transparency and good governance. Section 11. A new dawn, reclaiming Liberia's promise. The journey toward redemption will not be easy. It will require courage, sacrifice, and an unwavering belief in the possibility of a better tomorrow. It will demand that the wounds of the past be acknowledged and healed, that the culture of impunity be dismantled, and that the voices of the marginalized be amplified. Liberia, with its rich history and resilient people, has the potential to rise from the ashes of betrayal. The time for change is now. The time to reclaim the promise of Liberia is at hand. Let this be the dawn of a new era, an era marked by justice, prosperity, and hope for all.